Hello. Hi, Carly. Hopefully you got my request. And hopefully this works out. Hi, everybody joining. Hopefully Carly can join here in a second. Hopefully everyone is having an okay night. I know it's been a long week for America. Whether you're happy or sad, I know it's been a lot. So hopefully this can just be a point of fun and a little needlepoint talk here. Uh-oh, let's see if we can get her to join. Hello.
I was making a request to join in. I was like, because it said like I got the request or you requested me, and then it wouldn't let me like do anything with it.
Oh
So
no. Well, I got it figured out.
yeah, are you stitching?
I have a million projects next to me, but I don't have one in my hand currently. But
And
I can.
are you drinking?
That I am. So I've got a little glass of rosé.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
in a little vintage glass.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
I only had like frozen margarita mix at my house.
Oh,
Just,
party.
this week.
Yeah. It's been a stressful week.
Yes.
As I said before you joined, I'm like, hopefully whether either you're happy or sad this week, hopefully this can just be like a little moment of fun.
Yeah. All needlepoint, our favorite thing.
Exactly. So I wanted to talk to you, and I've told you this before. I started this YouTube channel, and honestly, my intent was not necessarily to do interviews or talk to people, because I think Pointing It Out podcast is doing such a good job at it. But they don't talk to a lot of just stitchers. You know, they talk to a lot of great designers and shop owners and teachers, but that'd be fun to talk to stitchers. But the reason why I wanted to talk to you specifically is because you, and I've told you this before, really inspired me to have me show my own face on Instagram because of your wool rants and your, needlepoint rescue. And I just think you are so funny, and obviously you stitch a lot, and so do I. So I just thought you'd be a good person to talk to and just kind of have a fun needlepoint conversation.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so sweet. Because I used to do it on my personal account, and like half the time I thought people were like, oh, who does she think she is? Like, like because I have like 200 people on my personal account.
Yeah.
And like start typing something out. Like it started because I would like see stories. Like I live in Richmond, and crazy stuff happens all the time. And so I'd like type up and be like, I just can't like convey it with the emotion that I need. And then once I got on here, like people started like giving me positive feedback, and I was like, you know what? This is how I communicate with people now.
Yeah. So how long ago did you start your needlepoint Instagram?
I started it in January. It was like mid-January, like night. I'm like, it was, I don't know, around January 19th. I think it was the 19th.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm like fairly new on it. Well, I guess like almost a year old.
Yeah. And how long have you been stitching?
5 years. So I started like 2014, 2015.
What was your first project? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was a keychain. It was like a little floral keychain that I never finished. And then I did a life belt for my dad, like full blown. So that was a project that I like actually start to finish did. What about you?
I was kind of the same. So I started stitching in high school, and I grew up in St. Louis, and the millennial needlepointer, who's Alexandra Martin, did sort of something similar to this conversation a long time ago. And I forget who she was talking to, but she's also from St. Louis. And there's this big trend in St. Louis where you stitch your friend a keychain, like a key fob, like one of the pre-made leather ones where you basically just stitch on it, like when they get their license. So I stitched a bunch of those. And then the same thing, I stitched my dad a belt. And then actually a teacher of mine in high school was like, well, I'll pay you to stitch a belt for my husband. So I did that too. But then I kind of dropped it.
Appropriately.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I like it was taking me a really long time to finish, and she kind of needed it, so my aunt kind of helped me finish it. But after high school, I really hadn't stitched much, and then about 2 years ago now, a little bit about me. I've been in kind of the retail world almost my whole career with a specialty in pop-ups, and so I was doing a pop-up shop in one of the suburbs here in Chicago, and there's a needlepoint store like 3 doors down. And I was like, oh, it might be kind of fun to stitch something for my mom for Christmas. And it was actually the Classic Stitch, and they just joined. So hi, Classic Stitch. So I walked in there. Yeah, I was just talking about you. I picked up a project and I was just hooked, and I finished it so fast. And I actually went back in there, and she was like shocked. She's like, I can't believe you stitched that fast. And so then I bought a project for my dad that Christmas as well, a little one of the Ann Fisher Y like key fobs that I turned into an ornament for my dad.
Mm.
And basically after that, it was all like downhill or uphill, no matter which way you look at it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of the same. Like, as soon as I did that, I took that life belt with me everywhere, like in this bag, and then I just couldn't stop after that. It's just it's just part of my life.
Yeah, I feel the same. I feel
Yeah.
the same, totally. So did you ever go to like a stitch club in Richmond? Because that's really too, like I started stitching around Thanksgiving, and then I went to a stitch club meeting in January, and that's when I started my needlepoint Instagram, and January 2019. But
Okay.
that's, I really sort of like, loved doing that. So I don't know if you had like kind of been a part of any of that.
I've been to one. I went to one of the RVA stitch clubs, and it was right before
Yeah.
COVID. It was like we all like had heard of it, but it was like, abstract COVID. But no, I wanted to. So I just moved to Richmond in, well, the summer of 2019, and then that fall I was like hyping myself up to go to the RVA stitch club because I was like, I don't know. I'm not a really shy person, but I was just so intimidated because I'd only ever done belts. So I
Yeah.
was gonna have like all these like crazy things, and I'm just gonna have this belt, and so I finally like pushed myself, and I was like, okay, I'll go because it's at the sandwich shop. And I was like, if anything, I'll like scope it out and get food and just leave. And then I went, and so I guess that was February, and then they canceled it like the next week, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, so much fun.
Yeah, I was kind of the same. Like I'm sort of similar. Like I'm not like super shy, but I'm also not like the type to just go hang out with a bunch of people I don't know either. And kind of did the same thing, but had so much fun and went
Mm-hmm.
to a ton of them. And same thing. I'm like missing all of those, Stitch Club Chicago girls.
I know, and so many people on here will message me, and they're like, I'm in Richmond too, and then I'll be like, let's stitch together after COVID.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I can't wait for that to start back up.
Yeah, and then have you joined have you joined Faison Stitch Club or any of the virtual ones?
Yeah, I've been to Fason's a couple times. Honestly, I'm just a flake, like by nature. So I have like big plans to go, like that one, and then the stitching studio in Richmond does one on Saturdays.
Oh, fun.
And I'm like always like, this is the week I'm gonna do it, and then like I'll put on like TV, and then I'm like, oh, but I'm like, it's horrible, but I just flake out of them. But I've been to them.
No, I feel like a lot of people are like that. I feel like that's relatable. Like, I feel like we all get that way, especially now where there's like no excuse to go outside or do anything, even if it's virtual. I think a lot of people are also like just over Zoom and, that too.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but I was kind of scared. Like I stayed on Zoom well, I'm back physically working, but I was on Zoom every day, all day for work, and like the last thing I wanted to do was be on Zoom. Like even when like family friends are like, oh, like let's have a Zoom happy hour. I never wanted to do it, and it wasn't because I didn't want to see people. It's just like
Yeah.
for Zoom.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you doing this, which is very like Zoom adjacent.
Yeah, but this is about Needlepoint.
Yeah.
So, well, I guess all. Don't worry. Like it makes sense to me.
No, I get it. I get it. Totally. So what's your most favorite thing you've ever stitched?
Oh my God. I think my favorite thing I ever stitched is actually at the finisher now. It's one of the Kathy Shecknell.
Shinkle.
Yeah, one of her socks, and it was a panda. And I think it's my favorite. It's a panda, and then it has a little panda like stuffed animal in it. And it's my favorite because I did it at the Stitch Club, and the people there taught me how to do T-stitch. And it
Nice.
the first time I had done T-stitch, and then obviously like now I'm just obsessed with T-stitch. So I think it was like my first time just like going in with decorative stitches. So I think that's my favorite. And then my chill pill, of course, like it's deceptively small. Well, it's deceptively big on Instagram, but it is like the tiniest little thing ever.
It's so good, and the finishing is so good on that too.
I have a problem with tassels.
I share that problem. I love a good tassel. Yeah, I think my favorite is the pumpkins, which I don't know if you know my like little like 3D pumpkins. And that was like the first time I'd done a stitch guide before, but it wasn't a very involved one. And the stitch guide for those pumpkins was very involved. It was a ton of fibers I had never used before. So it was fun to go like buy all of those things and be like, you know, what is this? What is this? And try a bunch of new stitches. So that
Mm-hmm.
really was really fun. And honestly, I get a lot of comments on that because I kind of highlight my big projects. You know, people always look at that and are like, oh my God, you know, this is so cool. Sorry, my cat is right here purring if you hear some in the house.
My dog just like looked up. But that, and I mean I know I am, and a lot of people are emotionally invested in your snowman that you just finished.
Thanks. Yeah, I've got so there's three of them. Same with the pumpkins, and actually the smallest one is right here. I basically have just done his nose.
Oh, they're so cute though.
Yeah, I love them, and that was I love those pumpkins so much, and they came out the snowman, which was I don't know how recently, but I had not seen them. And then my local shop, which is Emily's, which I love, got them. I was like, oh, I have to have those. And then I was like, there must be a stitch guide. And so I like looked into it and I couldn't find one. And the woman who created the pumpkin stitch guides had actually passed away because I even called that shop and I was like, you know, did
Oh,
she make stitch guides? And I was like, unfortunately, she passed away and those are newer. And I was like, oh man. So I kind of decided, you know, I bought a bunch of books and I'm like, I'm just going to kind of go rogue and like, you know, do my own thing. So I've been, you know, there's some stitches that the base layer is, you know, from one of the books and then I've added a bunch to it. And, but it's been really, really fun. So I've got the Papa Snowman totally done. The Mama Snowman, I just have to finish that one earmuff and then I'm going to start on the little guy, but it's been a super, super fun project for sure.
and I love watching it too.
Thanks. I sometimes am like, right, like enough. Like people don't, you know, need to see all of this, but you know, people seem to be into it, so I keep sharing it.
I'm the same way. Like I'm like, oh, they just want to see it when it's done. But like I know I get so invested in other people's projects. So I know, and I know other people are the same way. Like with
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was, but oh my gosh, I'm like gonna kick myself as soon as I like get off of here. But somebody finished a stocking, and like once they finished it, I was like, I mean, I felt like I finished it. I was so involved with it.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel like no, but really, like, you know, like Girl Needlepoint's World stitches a lot of stockings. So I'm always like messaging her, being like, this is amazing. And you know, there's a bunch of people who are like the stocking queens that like, especially those big projects, it's like so easy to get invested because you're
yeah,
like, yeah,
I know. Have you ever done one? A stocking?
I have. So I did my own stocking. I saw a stocking I loved and I bought it for myself and I actually got it on like one of the Facebook destashing groups for a deal. And so that one's like completely done, finished. And then I'm like looking at it over here, my husband's and one for my stepdaughter, like purchased and threads in both of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. They haven't been calling my name, but I need to find one for my son too.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never done a stocking.
What's the biggest project you've ever done? Is it that chill pill?
No, I guess a belt, but
Yeah.
um, because the chill pill is really not that big. Like I mean, I whipped through that, like, because it is, you know, it's on 13, so it didn't take
It's
long.
fast. Yeah.
Yeah, but I have finished like, I guess that Winnie the Pooh that I did, that took a long time. But I guess I would say a belt.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't done anything crazy. Like this one, this Lizzie McGuire one, this is pretty big for me.
Yeah, that's
But
bigger than I thought.
yeah, but it's on 13. So
Yeah.
like I've already finished like, the middle of it, besides the black. And I'm just like flying through it.
What are you
13,
gonna do with that one?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna make a pillow, but then I also think it'd be really cute on the back of a denim jacket.
Oh yeah, that would be so cute on a jacket.
And I would like want to show it off.
Yeah.
But I really want a denim jacket too. I've never done that.
I did one of those for my mother-in-law and she absolutely loved it. I did that for Christmas last year, that big Wonder Woman canvas I had, which it turned out so cute. And honestly, all things considered, finishing wise, it's not super expensive to get things finished on the back of a denim jacket.
Really?
Yeah, because, well, I bought the jacket, and just gave it to them to like basically sew on it. But I mean, like considering like they don't have to like, it's not like a pillow where they have to make a back or stuff it or, anything. So it's like, it was only $50 to have it finished, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's I thought it would be like $300. Like, I never,
No.
I can't tell, and I never ask, and then I go pick stuff up. Well, they'll call me. And I'm like, oh, how much is it? I'll pay right now. And then I like find a reason why. I'm like, I don't have my credit card.
Yeah.
And then just like leave it there for months.
That's like, I was gonna say that finishing is like the next thing that I've like not tried that I really want to. I keep calling it my final frontier, and I don't know why. I like have a stack of ornaments that are rounds, that it should be pretty easy, but I'm like too scared to jump right in and do it. But that's really what I want to try and tackle next.
Yeah, I do too. I signed up for a class at Poppy Point in Charlottesville, Virginia, and it was like they had somebody come in, and Jessica Tongo had taken it the week before, and she was like raving about it.
Yeah, she races. I mean, she finishes so much of her own stuff now.
Exactly. So I like jumped. I was like, I'm in, because it was $25 for the class,
Oh.
and it was like this was like the middle of March, and then like stuff started shutting down, and I called them every single day that week, and I was like, any news about the class? And they ended up canceling it. So maybe one day. I mean, I do I've done the hat, like I did that Hook and Harbor hat,
Yeah.
but I don't have a sewing machine or anything.
Well, you've done the barrettes too, right?
Yeah, I did those. Yeah, I guess that's like finishing.
Yeah, totally.
That's straight glue. Like, like, I mean, I don't know how to sew. Like, I don't even know how to do like hemming stuff.
I know how to sew. So I used to work in a costume shop when I was in college. That was my like work study job. So I used to sew a lot of costumes, but I would be so scared to like sew. I don't know why, to like make my own pillow or something. But I've done like the patch. So I did that Crude Canvases Joan Crawford, and I sewed it onto a patch diaper bag.
I remember I was telling somebody about that patch the other day, and I like couldn't remember who did it. I can't believe I forgot it was you.
It was me. And yeah, I actually bought a canvas tote from like Wool and the Floss, just like a plain canvas tote that I have a bunch of other canvases I want to make patches, on this tote. So I've finished a few of them, but I kind of want to finish a bunch so I can like place them kind of accordingly. So I can do that, and that's easy enough, and that's like hand sewing, but I haven't done any like major sewing with needlepoint because, it's scary and it's expensive. And if you mess it up, like that's it, you're done.
Oh yeah, I know. I know. I just can't stomach it. Like, especially me, like I'm gonna mess it up somehow. Like every canvas has something wrong.
Yeah.
And I just could see like ruining like a $200 canvas that I put like 70 hours worth of work in. But at Poppy Point, they were telling me that class, they just do a blank canvas like
Oh,
time you do it, so there's no emotional
that's smart. Yeah, that's smart. So is
Yeah.
that your home store? Is Poppy Point? Is that your
No.
local needlepoint store?
My home store, I guess there's two. It's Jeremy's and the Stitching Studio, and they're actually across the street from each other.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. They're in Richmond, and Poppy Point's in Charlottesville, which is like an hour away. But I
Okay.
will drive for Needlepoint,
Yes.
and
Don't
there's a
we all?
I like. So I'll get like 3 orders of dumplings and eat them in the car outside of the shop.
Chic. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Yeah, yeah. No, same. So in Chicago, which is where I am, there's actually no needlepoint stores at all in the city, which is kind of shocking. They're all in the suburbs,
Okay.
which, yeah, the closest one is about like 25 minutes away, so not far at all. But there is Emily's, which is my like favorite, and I posted about it a ton. And then there's the Classic Stitch, which is also great, and the Canvas Back, which are not next door to each other, but they're about like a mile down the road from each other. So all three of those are within like a 10-minute drive. So typically when I go to the needlepoint store, I mainly stick to Emily's, but sometimes I'll hit the loop and do all three.
Yeah, I try to do like half and half. Like I'll go if I go to Jeremy's, like the next time I'll try to go to the Stitching Studio, and then like the next time, and I really try to be like, okay, I got this at the Stitching Studio, so I'm gonna get it finished there too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really try to support both of them equally, and I do. I mean, I do go to both like in the same day because why not?
And there's nothing wrong with that. And two, and the reason why I love Emily so much, I mean, many reasons. Emily herself is fantastic, and so are people that work there, but her fiber selection is just out of this world. So she carries the full line of almost every fiber that they have. So it's like the full, yeah, I mean, it's nuts. So like the full line of Silk Lame. I mean, like any fiber you can, I mean, she doesn't carry absolutely every fiber, but she carries a lot. And that's what really kind of hooked me on them, is because they just like the fiber selection was, unlike anything I'd ever seen,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
I think is a huge part of it.
yeah. Now I'm like, okay, tickets to Chicago.
Yeah, 100%. Well, that's like too, like I started that like Needlepoint Bestie service, which has been really, really fun. But like half of what I do for them too is personal shop, because like the fiber selection at Emily's is like unreal. Like so many shops don't carry all of that. And so it's kind
Really?
of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, because one of my favorite things is pulling threads for a canvas. I love it.
So I get like so like I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know. It's like such a like fast decision because I could go like 1,000. I'm really indecisive. I mean, I'm sure you've picked that up. So I'll like buy a couple threads and then like put some in on one place and then like put some in and
Yeah, I mean, I used to, because truly I love picking threads so much. Like I used to, as soon as I got a canvas, like go to the store and pick all the threads out for things. And then, like as my stash grew, some of that stuff just sits there. And like for instance, the turkey, which let me grab it here, which I kind of just started stitching back up again. It's like this guy. Like I have not touched that project for like a year. And all the fibers, like I would not make the same decisions today at all, Yeah, so that's like too, like I noticed like on the stocking, like I bought my stocking, but I was like super scared to go pick fibers, and I think for that reason. So I bought my fibers like sort of in chunks. So like there's pink flowers and red flowers. So I bought those fibers first, and then I got the fibers for the leaves, just so that I could kind of make decisions as I go.
mm-hmm.
So I don't do that anymore, needless to say. I don't necessarily go and buy all the fibers unless I'm sure I'm like working on that project right that minute.
Yeah, that and like you can really get trouble with dye lots too.
I just had a dye lot issue, and I couldn't find it. I just had to go to a different dye lot, and you got to do what you got to do sometimes, and it's depressing.
The one I posted today, the like Ann Fisher with the blue,
Yeah.
a different blue corner, and like I can't even like I took it to get blocked, and I was just like I can't look at it anymore. Like it's a priority that I get this out of my house.
It is, and I don't know where. I'm like, my house is a mess right now, but one of the first projects I did was that it was like a big tiger pillow. It actually used to be my profile picture for a while.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Yeah, and it was like the third, or maybe, yeah, it was the third project I ever I did once I started stitching again after those two I did with my parents. And it was kind of before I knew, I mean, I knew what a dye lot was. I didn't know, you know, you can kind of put that out there in the world and people might have another dye lot. And so I just was like, oh, okay, well, they don't have the same dye lot, so I guess it's just different. And you really can't tell. I can tell, but like your average person couldn't. But it's just like, it's painful to look at that. And, you know, you're like, ugh.
Yeah, and I think a lot of new stitchers don't know about dye lots because like when I that I guess it was like last week when I posted like dye lot drama or something.
Yeah.
More than I mean more than one, so that's a lot for me. But I think it was like 3 people that were like, "What does that mean?" That are new, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like they really need to like break that down at the store because I didn't even know that either.
100%. And that's, you know, all good over there.
People like talking. I have my windows open and there's like a whole like conversation going on. I'm on the 6th floor, so
Oh,
see this loud.
maybe it's your next door neighbors.
Possibly. I don't. Is it loud?
No, I can't hear it at all. No, but that's part of the reason why I wanted to do this too, is because I feel like, especially a lot of new stitchers, like they don't know those like tips and tricks, and they don't know about that stuff, and they don't know who to ask for, because a lot of the shops, and I will say thankfully none of my local shops are like this at all, but a lot of the shops can be really stuffy and honestly not that helpful. So I think it's, you know, good to have a kind of gang of stitchers who is there to help, which is why I love Instagram. Like honestly, like I don't know you from Adam, just from Instagram, but we've like talked and become needlepoint buds, which is why I love this so much. And it kind of, you know, stitchers helping stitchers.
Yes, that is why I love this so much. Like I had no idea this was gonna happen when I made my Instagram, but like every time I get on here, it's like this whole new world. Like I just like leave my real life and just enter this like needlepoint world because I don't follow. Like I'm sorry if like people follow me, I don't follow them back. It's because I only follow needlepoint stuff because like I just want to have this like bubble that I go to because it's like what I was saying, it's just such a big part of my life and I love it so much and it's just such a joy and like really a gift to be able to just enter this like fake world where everybody is just like you.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way. And like on my like needlepoint Instagram, like I pretty much only follow needlepointers and some like interior designers, but I feel the exact same way. Like I just want to log on to this and like, you know, look at pretty things and get into stitching, and that's what I'm into. And with all of COVID, so I actually got laid off because of COVID. So yeah, it, you know, it is what it is. You know, I feel like a lot of the country is the same way, but so needless to say, I have lots of extra time to stitch. So that's kind of why I'm doing a lot of these things, you know, like starting the classes and this sort of YouTube channel and kind of these sorts of discussions, because I'm like, I have the time. It's what I love to do anyway. Why not? You know, I know there's more people who are into this stuff just like me. Like, again, you know, we're two random girls who basically don't know each other talking about needlepoint, and clearly other people want to hear what we have to say. So, yeah. Yeah. Hi, Mom. That's fine. I'm sure. I don't know if my mom's on here either. Hopefully she is, but that's okay.
But yeah, I know it is something that like none of my friends are into.
Yeah.
And I don't really get it. And
yeah,
like it's just so I mean, like I've said it before, like it is my world. Like I don't go anywhere without needlepoint. I don't go to work without needlepoint, which is not great. I take it everywhere I go.
Yeah, same. No, I think it's so, because I think for me too, I don't know if you feel this way, but it's just like, it's meditative, it's fun. You can kind of like zone out on it if you want, or it kind of brings you clarity if you are thinking about something heavy. Like I think it's just one of those things that it can lift your mood, it can take you somewhere else, which I think is so great.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Like I don't think I would have survived all this COVID stuff without it. Like truly COVID stuff. Like it's a pandemic, but like really just it's been, I mean, I think everybody feels this way. Like it was that, and then it was like the election, and then it's like every day there's something new, and it's like here for a little bit. Yeah. And on a lighter note, it's the only way I can go to my boyfriend's house and watch sports.
Totally. You can get through a full like game and like not even have to look up.
was like, you can watch whatever you want. Like, but I'm bringing my needlepoint. So
Yeah. I was gonna say that was one of the things I was gonna ask you. So, do people in your life think you're like this weird alien because of needlepoint? Because seems like you said, none of your friends really do it, and me either. But it's interesting, to see people who kind of, old work friends and stuff who have messaged me and been like, I just started needlepointing too. It's like I feel like more people are starting to sort of enter the circle, if you will.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think my friends think I'm like way more talented than I actually am because people are like blown away by it. They're like,
Yeah.
like, there's no way you did this. It's like, well, if you only knew like how easy it is. But I've had people, and like I've taught people over Zoom before.
Yeah.
My high school English teacher reached out to me and she asked like, she's like, oh, do you sell these? And I was like, I don't sell them, but I'll teach you how to do it. And now she's really into it. And then one of my boyfriend's friend's fiance, which is she's my friend too, but
Yeah.
reached out and she was saying like she wanted to get into it. And I was like, I would absolutely love to teach anybody just because I want to share this with people.
And just have more people do it. I feel like now is this sort of a different time in needlepoint because there are so many younger stitchers and young designers, but for a lot of years it wasn't like that. You know what I mean? So I think it's great to like get more and more people into it.
Oh yeah, yeah, and then just people to stitch with too.
Totally.
Relate to, because I think when people, I mean, obviously nobody knows how much this stuff is until you're in it, and
Yeah.
it, like, a lot of my budget is around needlepoint because it's a priority in my life.
Totally.
Or like when I met Molly from Crystal Coast,
Yeah.
it was just like the first time I've ever been with somebody who was like, no, like you should buy it, like, or like, because whenever I've taken other people in there, they're like, how is this insane? Like, but then like it was the first time I was with somebody who was really getting what I was saying, and she was like, yeah, like you'll stitch it eventually, and which isn't a great influence,
Right.
but it's like when you have somebody who's also like in this,
Yeah.
such a difference.
Did you meet her just like through needlepoint, or did you know her outside?
Yeah, I met her on Instagram.
That's amazing.
Yeah, she made her Instagram like a week before me, and she reached out to me, and like she reaches out to everybody. She's just like I mean, I'm sure you've talked to her.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's just such a great support system in needlepoint. And she reached out to me and she's like, welcome, like I'm excited for your Instagram, like super like above and beyond what I've ever done for anybody. And then I was like, hey, like while I got you, like I just got blocked on Instagram because apparently if you follow too many people at once, you'll get blocked.
Oh.
Yeah, and Instagram will like lock your account up for 24 hours and you can't do anything but like scroll.
Oh.
And about that. And then I was like, oh, like where are you? And she was like, oh, I'm in Richmond. And I was like, oh, well, I work downtown. Do you want to get lunch? And like we got lunch.
I love it.
Yeah, and like every time she comes to Richmond, well, safely if we can, like we go shopping together, get some food.
Yeah, I saw you guys just posted that the other day, which I thought was so cute.
Yeah, it was so much fun. We went to Jeremy's, and then the stitching studio is appointment only.
Okay.
And Mom, like go see. And then she made me do it, which is like cringeworthy for me to like approach people. I was like, I'm just, we're just in the neighborhood. Like, so it's like, don't want them to know we're at Jeremy's. It's like, oh, can we come in? And then we ended up spending more money there, and it was a great day.
Yeah, it sounds like a great day. So you said that she is a little bit of your stash enabler. So I know you are a destasher. I have definitely done some destashing too, but you said you're a hoarder. I am 100% a canvas hoarder too. So talk to me about your stash, because when everyone was posting those stash photos, I like love to see them, but B was like, that will never be me because embarrassed at how many canvases I have, but also a little bit not because I love it. But like I know, I have enough stitching for a lifetime, but you can always have more.
Oh,
So
I like I know. And I mean, every time somebody else destashes, I'm like on it. Like I
same.
got there. If I know what time it is, I'm the first one looking. But I've got my stash is out of control. Like I couldn't post it. Like I separate it out, and I was just so embarrassed. And like I just didn't want people to know.
Same.
Yeah, like I mean, I could show you this. Like I keep my small projects in like this bin. Like these are just like small projects. Like I have this one which used to belong to you.
Oh yeah. I was just gonna say, like I remember you buying something from my destashings, and then I bought one of your key fobs, which I feel like is initially how we sort of kind of connected.
Yeah, I know. Like I think you and I have like really similar tastes.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't classify myself as like preppy. I mean,
Same.
like I'm not into like blue and white like every. I think I love it. Like I think it's nice, but like it's not me.
Same.
And I think like you and I have like similar canvas
I
styles.
agree. Similar vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will well, this is like a little bit embarrassing, but this is my like little spot on the couch. And as you can see, it's just cats and projects.
So I wish you could have seen it today. Like I prioritize cleaning my house in case like for whatever reason somebody was like, show us your house, like which was not topic at all. But I was like, oh, I feel like people are coming over. So I spent all day cleaning, but before it was just like my coffee table was just the same way. Like you couldn't see it. It was just like canvases and then just a pile of it's like a bag of thread that goes to like a canvas that's not on the table, and it's like all over the place. Like I don't have a system at all.
So I do have kind of a system. So I like will have like a project bag like this, and I got these off of Amazon, and they're amazing. And I have a couple of like cute ones, like those. But so I will try to put my threads like in one of those bags, like with a canvas. But then what ends up happening is that I don't want to put my threads away in my system that I created. So I have giant bags, and this is one of I think 3 giant bags of threads that I need to put away. That it just becomes like a mountain. I do hear that.
Look, Richmond, y'all. Let me close my window. But I don't have like I have my art cart, and then I have like bags like you. But like I just don't like I thought I was able to be like, okay, like here's what I'm curiously do and make like a binder. But like you said, like I just have way too much. Like that's just not possible.
Yeah, way too much. When I see the binders too, and I also like have big projects. I'm like, a binder will work for like ornaments, but your big stuff, like I actually have, again, this is see my really messy house, but I have one of those Alex carts right here from IKEA. But you see, like, there's stuff everywhere. But what's that?
I want one of those.
I highly recommend it. So I mean, I've got like several layers of like work in progress, and then several layers of just canvases, and then like stretcher bars and that kind of stuff in the bottom drawer. But I love it. And I saw on Pointing It Out, Morgan Julia had like several of them behind her too. Like I think they're great in like flat drawers. And then I have those I just showed, but like basically bins from Container Store with like the little plastic dividers for my threads and stuff. But like I bought more stuff today to redo it again because I just feel like it just is an ever-growing mountain, especially of threads. And I am like thread obsessed. Like I almost like threads more than I like canvases. I think I said that before, but I have a lot of thread.
I do too. I don't know if I like it more than canvases, but I mean, if you looked at like my situation, you would think that.
Well, especially like those like, if you've ever bought like a thread lot off eBay, I live for a thread lot.
Gosh, that Splendor lot. I got this whole like bag of Splendor. I'd never tried Splendor before, and I was like, we're all in now. And then I got all those watercolor ones. I never tried that before.
So I think I know the answer to what your least favorite thread is. I think the whole world knows the answer to that. But do you have a favorite thread?
I think my favorite is 100% silk.
Okay.
I love silk. But I also like cotton.
Yeah.
I do. I am loyal to pearl cotton. I don't like I mean I hate wool. I mean, but I don't like I tried to give it so that Vogue one I did, I
Yeah.
forced myself. I was like, give it another try. And I got like nice wool. I can't even it
Is it
wasn't
like Bella Lusso or?
no, it Waverly, which is honestly that's probably not nice wool. But it was like better because the wool that I was working with when I like lost my mind with the bird was like kitted wool from the Studio Midwest kit.
It's probably like old Patternayan or something.
Yeah, it was old. Got it from a destashing, and it was my it was like my first rodeo with like having a serious problem because I had done one before and I got a stitch in New Orleans and it was okay. Like it was, I mean, I was kind of freaked out by it when I first did, like how big it was, and it was on
Yeah.
like this is fat. Like we're gonna like I was kind of freaked out, but I was like, okay, in the end, like I'm not gonna do it again, but
Yeah.
I'm not traumatized. And then
And then you were.
oh my gosh, I think I'm asking too much of the wool. But I want to be into it because it lasts forever.
But I think like, you know, like what are, unless you're doing like a rug or like a chair, like, you know what I mean? Like what are you doing to your needlepoint that it needs to quote unquote last forever, you know?
yeah, and like I've said, none of this is gonna last forever. Like I mean, we all like to think it will, but
Right.
like we're in a daydream if we think it will.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I posted a while ago. My mom was like cleaning out her house and found this belt that she started for my dad like 40 years ago and then never finished. And so she gave it to me and I'm excited and I want it's like old Patternayan and I'm like I have to like mentally gear myself up because I know that's going to be a thing.
oh yeah, yeah. It's like hearing you talk about like no, I can't. Like as if you're asking me to do it.
You like don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So do you have a favorite like brand of silk or type of silk?
Yeah, I like Planet Earth on 13.
Yeah. Are you a 13 girl?
I it's becoming that way. Like I like 18. I like the detail in it, but I mean 18 like pillow. All about quantity, not quality. If you saw my stash, you'd know.
That's hysterical.
But
So what is your favorite thing to stitch? If you have that, like, is it ornaments, like those smaller projects, or are you getting into more bigger projects, or what are you kind of into these days?
I don't even know because I got really into like 3D stuff. Like when I did my like my
Yeah, love that.
after that I was just like, oh my gosh, I gotta do more 3D stuff. So I got like some I got that frog, like the trashy frog.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that.
Finish that, but that was like part of the whole thing where I was like, oh, 3D stuff. And then I got I just finished a ladybug, which I got from a D stash. And so I was really into that for a while. And then after I got my chill pill back, I wanted to do more pillows. But they're all like bouncing around. And I've got like a belt that's halfway done that I need to finish. But I don't know. I love the 3D stuff.
Same. I'm a sucker for the 3D stuff.
It's just so different.
It is like all those like gingerbread houses. I'm like obsessed and
Yes, and the Needlepoint newbie when she did that like Christmas house, I bought it when it hit Needlepoint desashing. She
yeah.
got it. I was in the McDonald's drive-through and I bought And like, I stopped everything I was doing. I was like, I've got to buy this right now. And just like, I don't know. Instagram made me do it.
Needlepoint destashing is like a drug.
Oh God. No, I like blocked it on my work computer.
Wise.
Because they update it all the time. Like they're updating it multiple times a day.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
No, it's horrible. And then I'm in Facebook groups too.
Same. It's a problem. We both have it, as does this whole needlepoint community, and that's why it's a safe space, which I love.
Exactly. Exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you.
You get it.
I do. So, do you have a project that's on your wish list? Like, is there kind of a big project or something? I'm dying to have that.
Not right. So eventually I want to do like if I like get married and have kids, I want to do like the stockings, like heirlooms. That's like that's one thing that I've like always wanted to do, but like I'm not gonna do it until somebody comes out of my body. Like there is nobody that like equals that level of like like I hope my boyfriend's not watching.
You want to do one for yourself first?
I guess like I could commit to that for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I could do, but I want to do like all like coordinating ones, you know.
Yeah.
But I want to do that, and I really would love, like, I saw this lady, I think it was on Facebook or somewhere, and she had this chair that was like all these woodland creatures.
Yeah.
And she like had spent all these years doing it and like comparing her fibers to like roadkill for it.
Yes, I mean, I remember seeing that.
Yes, and I was just like, she's badass. Like, she is my goal.
Yeah. I would love to do some sort of chair. I had a vision of doing my dining room chairs, which will never happen, but I think that would be a fun, cool project to do.
That would be so cool, especially if you did like something cool, like at the top and at the bottom, or all different, but all like the same vibe. Oh,
I know.
Now I guess I need to make a chair.
I know. When I went to, so I'm from St. Louis, and St. Louis has great needlepoint stores as well. And I went into one of them one day, and this woman had a giant rug like on the table that she was like kitting out fibers for, and it was probably like a 3x5 rug. And I just remember like being like, oh my God. Like I think my aunt did one 2 years ago. I kind of vaguely remember her working on it. That I just like, I mean, that is a time commitment.
Oh yeah, and like no one's walking on that rug.
No.
Like,
Never.
not going on the floor.
Yeah. Right.
Frame on the wall.
Right. I know. Do like a big tapestry instead.
Yeah. These Jeremy's, they have rugs on the floor, and one of the employees does them all. And she's like, oh, it takes me like 8 months. And I'm like, I can't, oh my gosh. And then like people are like walking on them, and like when I go, I'm like, what? Like,
yeah.
Like too close, like too much breath on the rug. I like make a point to,
and then 8 months of stitching like nothing else. Like I want to talk to her, because like in 8 months I stitch like a million different things I may not finish, or I do finish, but you know what I mean? Like don't have regular ADD, but I definitely get like needlepoint ADD, where like I just need to like switch it up.
I know. And this is like new for me too. Like even since I've been on Instagram, it's been like this summer that I've just like got like all these plates spinning and they're all collapsing. I used to be like, okay, like I'm dedicated to this one project and this is what I take. But now I have like a purse project, and then like couch project and a bed project. Like it's just,
how many projects do you have thread in right now?
Oh, like I don't even know. Well, in my site, but there's just so many. Like there's some that as soon as I get a new one, I just want to put like at least one stitch in it. And
totally.
Yeah, I don't know what like clicked in my brain with that, because when I first started, I had like the belt, and like I did that one, and then after I was like done, binding stitch and all, I got a new one. It was like, what? Like, who was that girl? And like,
Newbie.
yeah, like, how do I get back to that? But also, like, this is my life now. So
Yeah, you will never go back. There's no turning back.
oh well, there's literally like, unless I sold all this stuff, which is clearly not happening, because I probably have like 50 canvas. That's a low ball, but I have like roughly 50 to 100 canvases in my possession.
Yeah.
I could only part with 6, and then I deleted the stories after somebody didn't buy them immediately.
Well, you know, I like missed it the other day, and I was like, oh my God, I missed all of her destashing because there was 2 up, and then I was like, oh, she must have sold everything else. But now, come to find out, you did not. You just deleted.
No. I sold 4 of them, and then I had those 2, and then I deleted them because I was like, oh, like that dog, I'm just like weirdly attached to.
That dog is so cool.
I know, and like think how cool it would be as like a stand-up, like on a shelf or something.
It's cool.
Yeah.
And you so many cool stitches and different fibers.
Yes, such an opportunity for like just going.
Yeah. So I know you said you got kind of the T-stitch was your foray into like the fancy stitches, but are you a basket weave kind of girl, or do you get down with some of the more intricate fancy things?
It just, I guess. I do like, I'm all about like the balance on the canvas. Like I love to have like basket weave, like a design, or the middle detail in basket weave and then the background. But I mean, there's some stuff like if I know I'll only do basket weave. And
Yeah.
I don't know, like all the thing. But I do like, I love doing decorative stitches. I just don't like, my brain just like can't handle it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess the real like intro I had to decorative stitches were long stitches.
Mm-hmm.
And then T-stitch just like blew my mind because I was just dreading the background. She's like, well, then just do T-stitch. And I did it, and I was done like that. And I was like, okay, like now starts the next phase of my life.
Yeah, it's fast and it looks great.
Yeah, and like people love it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's one of my faves too, for sure.
Yeah.
Wow, we're almost at an hour. Wait, sorry. Go ahead.
Instagram will cut us off.
Yeah. No, this was so fun.
I've been cut off before.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, thanks for doing this and chatting, and like this was so fun to talk to you like this. And I'll definitely post this and put it on my YouTube channel too, if you don't mind. And thanks for being sort of supportive of this and wanting to have like a needlepoint conversation. I really appreciate it.
Yes, of course. I'm so excited you asked me, and I'm so excited for your needlepoint YouTube. Like it's much needed. Like there's just not anything.
Well, that's what I kind of thought. And like I YouTube different things too, but I feel like, you know, there's so many things that people ask me, and like even I'm going to make a video tomorrow probably, you know, like I cannot tell you how many people have just asked me how to use like a needle threader. Yeah. You know, like stuff like that people are maybe afraid to ask. It seems like a ridiculous question, but like people don't know. So that's kind of why I started it, just to do like, you know, some like simple how-tos and to talk about some of my projects. But I thought, you know, doing this here and there would be kind of fun too. So I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's gonna be huge. Cause like I first started, like I tried to get a YouTube, and I just like, there's just nothing really.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some things here and there, but well, this was so fun.
Right.
Yeah. And I appreciate you spending some Sunday night time with me, and happy stitching to everyone that joined.
Yeah, everybody who joined. Hello. I'm sorry. Moment.
Yeah. All right, Carly. Well, have a good night, and thank you so much again.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a good night.